Hey guys, welcome back to another 9 to 5 day in my life, but this time as a full-time YouTuber. This is a look at a very standard and ordinary day in my life. I'll be including tips for how to get the most out of your day if you work from home or have a schedule similar to mine. I also take you through how I stay organized, how long it takes me to edit, whether or not I miss my corporate 9 to 5, dealing with loneliness as a YouTuber, financial worries, PR and brand deal information, and my best advice for anyone wanting to start the channel. But before we get into all of that, let's start with my morning routine. So sore this morning. I've started doing the shreddy wedding plan, like pre-wedding workout thing. I've done 1 week's worth of workouts, which is 4 workouts in a week. And going from somebody that does like almost no workouts in a week to 4 workouts in a week, my whole body feels completely wrecked. So we're gonna go on a walk this morning to just like stretch myself out a bit, get my blood moving so that I'm not just like hobbling around all morning. So I'm just gonna have a piece of toast, have a cup of tea, and then we're gonna head out on a walk before we sit down for a proper 9 to 5 day in my life as a YouTuber living in the outskirts of London / Surrey. I really don't know where I live. It's somewhere between the two. Let's go outside on a walk and let's just have a nice, productive day together. All ready for the day. I was planning on going on a walk and then coming back and having a shower and getting ready, but I was like, actually, let's just get ready now and then head out on a walk, and our day has just begun. I've also got some parcels I need to return, so I really want to get that done before I like start my work day, rather than needing to go out in the middle of the day to do any of those kind of bitty jobs. So I'm gonna go quickly put a load of washing in, package up the parcel that I need to return, and then our walk will incorporate returning that to the post office, and then we can come back and get our day started by 9 o'clock, which is the current schedule that I'm doing. I'm trying not to start sooner than that. Today so far is going very well with that. So final sip of tea, because that is basically finished now and cold, to be honest. And let's get out into the lovely sunshine. I actually can't believe how nice of a day it is today. Let's go. So, starting off with my plan for the day. When it comes to like the structure and organizing of my day, basically Notion runs my whole life. I love Notion. I've literally discovered it pretty much this time last year. I think it was April-ish last year when I discovered Notion, and I now do everything here. So in Notion, I've got like my content calendar and then my daily schedule, and then I use the Notion calendar to actually plan out my day, which is linked to like my Gmail calendar. So if any meeting invites or anything come through to my actual email address, then that's all populated into my Notion calendar when I open up Notion, and I can then organize the rest of my day around it. It's done so well. It's so well integrated. I'm obsessed with it. What I will do is the day before, so like last night, for example, I'll always check my content planner, which has out like the big bulk videos that I'm filming or any of the big stuff that I have to film. I'll always check that the night before to remind myself, okay, what is the main thing that I need to film the next day? So last night I was like, cool, today I know that I'm filming this video, which actually the reason we're doing this video in particular is because you guys voted for it. For anybody that didn't see it, I very infrequently, but I do sometimes post on the community page. So I posted on there to check what video you guys would like, and you chose this one. I am actually going to start doing weekly Q&As on Mondays over on Instagram, because I did one this week and it was so much fun to be able to talk to you and just interact in a way easier way, because it is actually live as opposed to on YouTube. I ask a question and it takes like a week for you guys to reply, and then I don't really get to reply to your reply. If that makes any sense, you know what I mean. So if you're not following me on Instagram yet, come do that, because every Monday we're gonna be doing Q&As where we can just chat and I can answer any of your questions about anything. So I woke up this morning knowing exactly what I was going to film, and I then sit down in the morning and schedule my day accordingly. So I check if I've got any calls. I speak to my management team kind of whenever I need it. I'd say maybe once a week, once every couple of weeks. We kind of just check in on all the business side of things, and it's monitoring like contracts, finances, upcoming deals, previous deals. I'll have that call once every couple of weeks. So I really try and reserve Thursdays for planning. And now that we are on a Thursday towards the end of the month, this is when I plan my future month's content. So this morning, I'm basically gonna sit down and plan out in Notion, in my content planner, all of the videos that I want to do for April. And this sunshine is just so delightful. I also have, I should say, I do have a double screen. So I've got my laptop that plugs into a big monitor, and I could not recommend that more highly. No matter what job you do, if you do a laptop-based job, get a monitor. It's the best. It's just so like, oh, you just feel like you're working. Somehow it just triples my productivity than when I'm just working on my laptop. Okay, let's get working. Oh, I'm feeling so excited. I love content planning days. I love strategy days. I love any of the days where I just get to think about all the fun things that I want to do, I want to film, and want to just like experience with you. I'm so excited for April now. So I've now gone through for all my lifestyle stuff and my book stuff, 4 videos for each, so 8 videos total for April. I've got like the rough title for each of those, and then I kind of create like a mini project for each of them, and then I go into that little project and I set out like a few bullet points, like literally 4 or 5 bullet points max of the key things I want to cover in that video, or like the rough structure that I want it to be, or the things I want to do. And one of the most fun things for me anyway about being like in the lifestyle niche is that although like you could see it as a bit of a double-edged sword, and maybe it is, I don't know, but I love it because it really gets me thinking ahead for like what I want my month to be like and the things that I want to experience and I want to do. And some people might be like, oh, are you just doing things for the sake of filming them? And the answer to that is categorically no. The idea didn't come from wanting to film it, but the discipline of actually like making the good things happen came from it. So I basically just planned out like all the fun things that I want to do in April, and it's so much fun. Anyway, I'm now gonna have some lunch, and today I'm actually going to do some meal prep. I'm not sure a day goes by when Cameron and I don't have soup in the fridge. But soon, soup switches to salad. So I'm gonna make a big batch. It never lasts very long, but I'm gonna make a big batch of like pesto, roasted tomatoes. I'm gonna roast a load of cherry tomatoes. Just a big pesto pasta salad, basically. And then we can sit down and go through all of your questions that you asked me over on Instagram. I'm really hungry. Let's make some lunch. Success! I'm having a portion of it now. It's like hot pasta. And then I've got 2 like very big portions that probably can do, or can definitely do like 2 in each. I've kind of got 4 portions there. And whilst I cook, I just put in a podcast. I basically listen to a podcast or an audiobook every single day when I have lunch. I'm currently listening to the Ellen Pompeo Call Her Daddy episode, which is so good. Ellen Pompeo is just, she's such a boss. I feel so proud to share a name with her. I'm now gonna sit down here, eat my pasta, and then we'll have a bit of a Q&A. Okay, This is the time of day when I would usually either be editing or getting in some reading, but instead we're gonna answer some questions. And thank you so much to everyone that sent in a question. The question box for you to ask your questions was popped up on Instagram. I am not gonna be able to answer all of these, but I'm gonna try and answer as many as I can. When we're talking equipment that I use, I will link all of the camera, tripod, the SD cards that I use, and like the hard drives that I use to edit off of. I'll put links to all of those on Amazon, probably is the best place. So you can see all of that equipment if you want to. In terms of software, I do all of my thumbnails on Canva. I love Canva, that's where I do all my thumbnails, and I edit using Final Cut Pro, and then I edit any of my pictures in Adobe, so like any of their Creative Suite stuff. Mostly that's Lightroom, sometimes it's Photoshop. So that's all the stuff that I use to kind of get the videos made. Let's start with the organization stuff, the planning stuff, the scheduling stuff to help me stay sane and to actually try and run this a bit like a business. As I said before, Notion is the #1 like organization tool that I use. I just feel like I have the most stuff on there. I'm still in the process of like perfecting my ideal template, and I do keep promising you that I'm going to share my template with you. I can't help it. It's something that I really want to get exactly right, and until I'm happy using it every single day consistently for a period of time, I don't want to give it to you. So we're nearly there. But I organize everything through Notion. I get a lot of questions asking what notebooks I use, what planners I use. I think I've come to the conclusion that paper written like planners just don't work for me. I've bought every planner under the sun. I've bought planners that like other content creators and influencers have come out with. I've bought all the different daily, weekly planners from Papier, and I just don't think it works. I think my planning needs to be digital because I chop and change things so much. I move things around so much. So much of my schedule and things is digital, and like meeting invites come through digitally, and I don't know, I want to have to write them down in my planner. I just think paper planners don't work for me. The structure is too structured. Anyway, so I don't use physical planners anymore, but I do use a notebook. So I basically have a Moleskine. I have the soft cover A5 plain lined notebook, and basically I write all of my thoughts and just brain dumps into there, and then I take just raw notes and organize them into Notion. So that's how I organize myself. There's also a lot of questions in here about how I plan out and schedule my content. I feel like I kind of showed you that / answered it earlier. I have a section within Notion called my content planner, and I batch it all out in there. I have got a question like, do you schedule and plan your content out, or is it more like you film when you feel like it? And I definitely plan it. I think having 2 videos a week, I think how many videos you do a week is so variable. For me, 2 videos feels like a lot and a stretch, but achievable because I do achieve that most of the time. For some people, they can produce like 3 videos a week, which is just incredible and phenomenal. But I find as the person that does all the filming and all the editing and basically everything, it's just me. 2 is as much as I can manage, so I have to stay organized and plan what's happening and when, so that I can stick to that as much as I possibly can. On that note, I had a few questions on like how long does it take to do everything. One of the craziest things about this job is that you have no one to ask. So I have truly no idea how long it takes other creators and other YouTubers to edit their videos. Like I'll never know if I'm really slow or fast, or like I've got no concept. But one video I think I could now do in an 8-hour day. Like if I had a full 8 hours to edit one video, I could do that. When I started, it took me like 24 actual hours probably to edit one video, and I was doing it in iMovie, and I was so slow. I had no background in editing, and I still feel like I'm learning. I did have a few people asking me if I ever would be willing to get an editor to shrink the amount of time that it takes me to edit. The answer is no. I have a lot of editors reach out and ask to edit my videos, and for now, not something that I would even remotely consider. I really think to be a YouTuber, unless you have a lot of cash behind you already before you start that you're willing to spend on the business kind of right from the off, you have to enjoy editing because it's such a huge part of the job, and I love editing. I love seeing the whole thing come together and like putting all the clips together, finding the music, choosing the fonts, and just feeling like you've really created something. I feel like that's when the creation part of the job, like the creative fulfillment, really comes through for me, like more than the filming. To me, like the filming is what gives me the community-based fun of just like it feeling like I'm just hanging out with friends, but the actual creative fulfillment comes from when I get to sit down and edit and build something that didn't exist before I put all those clips together. So no, I absolutely love editing. So many questions about whether I miss my 9 to 5, whether I miss corporate London, and the overall answer is no. There are elements of it that I miss. I miss the salary, if I'm really honest. I miss the money, and I do miss the energy that I got from going and commuting. I know people always thought I was crazy for loving the commute, but for being able to like commute into London and feel like I love the city just as much as, well, no, I probably do love the countryside more than I love the city, but I don't know, I actually think I probably love them the same. I love the city. I love the energy you get from the city. I love the feeling of just like being amongst everybody that's doing the same thing as you. There's something so validating about being amongst all the commuters that are all going to work, and it's like we're all going, we're all doing our thing, you feel like one of many, which is, maybe that's a bit philosophical, but that is really an awesome feeling. And I loved going into my big glass office and walking around the top floor and feeling like I was like a corporate boss. Like I loved that feeling, and I do miss those elements, but broadly speaking, no. I liked a lot of the peripheral elements of going to work, but I didn't actually love my job, like the content of my job. It's not that I didn't like it actively, I just wasn't passionate about it. Whereas I feel so passionate about this. It's so much fun being able to creatively express myself when I felt like I didn't really have that opportunity for so many years. So no. I've only been doing this now for 10 months, 11 months, 10 months full time. And I did my corporate job for 7 years. So in 7 years time, I might be bored of this too and like looking for another challenge. I can't foresee that because I just love vlogging so much. I feel like I'll just want to do it forever. But I very may well get to like 40 in a decade and be like, I'm happy to end it there and try something else, and I don't know, open a bookshop, open a cafe bookshop. I feel like we all have the feminine urge to open a cafe or a little inn or a little bookshop and just go full Gilmore Girls, or I certainly do anyway. So maybe I'll do that in 10, 20 years, who knows? But no, I really don't miss my 9-to-5 job. You know, I do have a question around loneliness, like do you ever get lonely without colleagues? I really don't get lonely. Do think that if you want to do this as a job, if you think it might be something that you want to pursue, I think you first need to evaluate how comfortable you are with your own company and how much you enjoy your own company. Unless you've got lots of friends that also are content creators and YouTubers, and I think it's totally different because you can all go out and film together, you can all go out and like work together in a coffee shop, and you basically have colleagues, but you're all working on your own mini businesses. Honestly, the dream. But I don't have anyone, like I don't have a single friend who does this for a job. So I have no one to talk to about it. I just don't struggle with it whatsoever. I think probably because when I'm filming all day, I genuinely don't feel like I'm alone. And I know it's this weird parasocial thing, like it's a black lens that I'm looking into, but it doesn't feel like that. My brain just switches into, I feel like I'm talking to you, I feel like I'm hanging out with friends. It's honestly just how I feel. Like I'm not sure my body can tell the difference. I just feel like we're all sitting and having a cup of tea together and chatting. So I really, really don't feel lonely at any point because of this job. Right, I'm gonna try and start answering these questions quicker. I'm gonna quick fire answer some random ones rather than grouping them. How much PR stuff do you actually get? Some YouTubers seem to show it off daily. I get no PR. I think I just don't get any PR stuff because I don't think, well, you can all correct me now, but I don't think I am that much of a like product heavy creator or a product heavy YouTuber. I don't know why I don't get any PR, because I agree, I also see everybody online that is like flooded with boxes, and you see they arrive home and there's like boxes piled high to the ceiling of stuff, and I'm like no one's asked to send me anything. I get the odd thing. I got cleaning products the other week. And I do get requests for some stuff, but I also think I'm really picky. Like I don't want stuff. I tell you the PR that I don't get, that I'm very excited to start getting at some point. I also think I'm probably just not big enough of a creator yet. Like I don't think I'm very big. I don't know what I'd categorize myself as, like small to medium, probably. So maybe I'm just not big enough. But the PR I would love is arcs of books coming out. That's what I want. I want arcs. I want arcs, and I want products from my favorite brands. The ones that I know that I love, that I know that I trust. Those are the things that I want PR from, and I haven't been offered any of those. So we haven't got any PR. Okay, last few. How do you deal with the risk that it might not work out financially? I don't know. I don't have an answer for how I deal with it, but that is one of the biggest negatives for me. It is one of the biggest worries for me. Question here, I can't remember exactly how it was worded, but it was basically, how do you feel confident that you're doing the right thing? And do I worry about finances each month if I'm ill or can't work? Okay, so all cards on the table. My corporate salary was very good. I'm just gonna toot my own horn and say that. My corporate salary was very good. I earned a lot more than I could have ever spent in a month. And I knew that YouTube was becoming more and more of a love of mine, and at some point I didn't think it was going to happen quite when it happened, but at some point I probably was going to take the leap and leave my corporate job, because I knew I wanted to change, because I'd been at the same company for 7 years and I wanted to mix it up. Oh, Cameron's back. Hi! So basically I banked a lot of my salary. I saved and saved and saved and saved so that I had a cushion for myself for when I went full-time with YouTube, because I knew that was going to slash my salary a lot. I think there is a huge misconception online about how much YouTubers make. And I'll link the video that I watched. I feel so, I can't remember her name. I feel so bad that I can't remember her name because she's great. But I watched a video by this girl, this woman, who was talking about the like content creator middle class, or like the influencer middle class, and how most people don't make that much money. You kind of just make like a comfortable amount that ticks over, but it's really not anything crazy. And that is definitely my reality. I am such a strong advocate for women especially making sure that we are completely financially independent. I never want to rely on anybody else, and definitely not Cameron, which is always like the stereotype. And I see some of the comments on my videos that like assume that he bought our house for us and assume that he pays for everything, and I just have to swallow that. It ain't the case. Everything is 50-50, literally 50-50, and it has always been 50-50. But the world is always going to assume certain things, but just for my own peace of mind, it's important to me that I'm financially independent. So if that ever starts to feel like I'm running out of runway, I'll go get another corporate job. But for now, I have full confidence that I will keep earning as the community keeps growing and more opportunities come my way. So it is a worry for me. It is something that I think about, but it's not something I've planned. Prepare to, what is it? Fail to prepare, prepare to fail. That's right? Fail to plan, plan to fail. The same vibe. I've prepared, I've planned, so I'm safe and I'm fine. Sorry, battery died just before the last question. The last like grouping of questions I had was around if I had any advice for anybody that wants to get into it, and if you were going to start a YouTube channel from scratch, like what would my advice be? I think although it is a bit of a cliche, if you think this might be for you and you want to give it a go, then you just need to start filming. Pick something and just start, like just wake up tomorrow and film something and then get it into your editing software and start playing around with it and then just get it uploaded. Both the sad thing and the good thing about your first video is you can film it and no one will see it. I don't know how many views I got on my first video. 100? I don't remember the number, but it's basically nothing. No one will see your first video. So you almost don't need to worry about it being good. You just need to practice, get it up there, and then learn as you go, because it is one of those things that you just really do learn by doing. There is only so much you can read and listen to, and then you just have to learn by doing. I'm also a strategy person, so I would think through like what your strategy is, and that doesn't have to be like a super calculated thing. It's more just working out what is it that you want to get out of it. Like, why are you creating a YouTube channel? What is your purpose? I didn't start this channel with any niche whatsoever. And if I was going to start this from scratch, again, from a business perspective of knowing that I want this to make a lot of money, I want it to be a thriving business, I would have done things differently and I would have had a much stronger niche. But I knew even then that I could have made it a cooking channel. I could have made it like a home decor channel. Like I could have had a stronger niche, but I always knew that wasn't what I wanted. I knew that I wanted to build a community of girls and women that are just like normal, whatever that means, but just a group of us going through it, living life together and just loving the little things along the way and finding the joy in life and being able to celebrate life together. And I just always knew that I wanted it to be, I had more of a strategy for the feeling of the channel that I wanted, which is so hard to translate into a business. But I just knew that I wanted it to be a really happy, wholesome, positive space on the internet where we can just all learn to be a little bit more optimistic, a little bit more empathetic, just all of the good things. So that was always the vision I had when I started. And actually when I think about it now, it's really cool that I feel like we are getting there. So spend time evaluating what you love. Make sure that whatever your channel is about, it's something that you're genuinely passionate about, that you could talk on and on and on and on about and never get bored, because you're going to have to pour so many hours of your life into it. If you're not completely obsessed with the topic, you won't stick to it. For me, I said from the second I started my channel, I'm going to upload one video every single Sunday, come hell or high water. Nothing will get in the way of me posting that video every single Sunday, and that's what I did. Whether it meant cancelling plans, whether it meant staying up late, whether it meant like no matter how few views I got, no matter how few followers I had, pick a schedule and then just stick to it, refuse to quit, give it a full year, see what things look like at that point and go from there, and listen to the analytics. Your video Like Google is very good at giving you all the back-end information about what videos do well, what videos don't do well, and just recreate the ones that do well. I don't think YouTube is saturated. I think that's nonsense. YouTube is the most streamed platform. It's more than Netflix, more than Disney Plus, more than Prime, more than all of those things. People spend more time on YouTube than all of those platforms. I think it's actually all of those platforms combined or something insane like that. And that number is only climbing. I use YouTube as if it was TV. If you want to start a channel, there is definitely space for you. Without a question, there is space for you. You just have to stick at it and not give up, and genuinely love doing it. Okay, I feel like that is it. I have answered as many of the questions as I possibly can without talking for a year and a half, although I feel like I still have talked for ages anyways. I hope that was helpful. As I said earlier, I'm gonna do way more Q&As and stuff because I feel that whenever I find myself feeling all confused, and I think that was a question I didn't answer, but like, do you ever just feel off track and like you just don't know what you're doing, and are you doing the right thing, and all those types of questions? Yes, I do. And the thing that grounds me every single time is talking to you guys, engaging with you, and just feeling more connected to you. So I definitely want to do Q&As more. I want to have more of a back and forth relationship. So I'm going to be doing Q&As every single Monday, like I said, and I'll definitely ask more questions on my Instagram as well that I'll answer in my YouTube videos. So if you want to ask me any particular questions, then just let me know. And if you want any more advice, if you are thinking about starting something, then just drop me a DM. My DMs are always open, and I really do try and reply to as many people as possible that DM me. So I got you, bestie. Just send me a message. Right, I'm gonna go say hi to Cameron because he's downstairs and he's probably sat on the sofa exhausted. I think he was in Essex, so he's just driven back from there today. But the day is really getting away from us, or I'm just babbling a lot, so the day is running away from me. And we're nearly through with our 9 to 5. It's nearly, okay, it's not nearly 5, it's 3:30. Go see Cameron, have a cup of tea for half an hour, 4 till 5 blitz emails. That's the plan. Right, let's go. So this is actually a pretty good kind of standard example of how it works when I'm working with a brand. So my management company messages me and says, hey, this particular brand would like to work with you. This is the rate they're offering. Are you happy to accept this rate, or would you like to negotiate it? I can then decide what to do. I accepted the rate. They then said, okay, great, we'll get the contract drawn up. They're a brand that you guys all know. It's actually an ad that I'm doing with them on Instagram. I'm really excited about it. So we got the contract signed. They're in the process of shipping out the products to me, which is always a really fun bit because I don't always know what products I'm gonna get before they get sent. And then the next step is, once they've shipped out the products and the contract's all been signed and everything, we've agreed the rate, we've agreed all the terms of the contract, they've sent over the creative brief, and then I am going to go through the creative brief now and review what it is that they want from me. It'll be things I can say, things I can't say, and then often they'll give ideas of the type of content that they'd like it to be like. So whether it is as part of a home reset video or part of a day in the life vlog, I don't know. This particular brand, because again, I don't know exactly what products I'm gonna get, but because they are like home fragrance, candles, stuff like that. There is also like body stuff, but I'm imagining for me, they will send me some home stuff and then they'll probably say, well, let's open it. We can open it and have a look. I'm not going to show you exactly what it is, but if you follow me on Instagram, you'll see it go live, because I think it's going to go live at the end of March. So soon, quite a quick turnaround on this particular brand. Yeah, so it sounds like I have been lumped in with the home creators. So sometimes I'll find myself in different pots, and not all brands do this, but some brands will send me a creative brief and it will be like the brief for the home influencers, or it'll be like the creative brief for the beauty influencers, and then they might get a different creative direction that they're requested. This brand's really cool because they're also super eco-friendly and everything, so I'm really excited to work with them. But because this has to be produced quite soon, I'm now going to sit down, brainstorm some ideas for the ad, get a little bit creative, start documenting out what I think I'm going to do. I don't think I have to actually run it by them, but I obviously want to plan it out in my head. Plan out what day that I'm going to film, what day that I'm going to edit, and then I need to read because I'm very far behind. I've been spending a lot of time this week on the lifestyle side of the world. I'm gonna do this for the next probably hour or so, and then at 5 I'll probably stop, read for an hour, and then that'll be me done for the day. But for now, let's get back to work. Well, there might be something else, but
I can find a different chocolate for me. You think I should invite?
no. Just chill tonight, paint tomorrow. Or the weekend. The weekend, let's just paint the weekend. For sure. We have mini eggs as our pre-dinner starter, apparently. Because Cameron's already had his dinner, he just had some soup. And so he's already on to his sweet treat. And he's eaten the whole bar of Cadbury's Marvellous Creations that we bought together. And there's none left, but it's fine, I have mini eggs. So, it's a good few hours later, and now I'm into my evening, which, to be honest, my mornings and my evenings are basically exactly the same as they were with my corporate job. You can probably hear New Girl on in the background. Let me shut the door. Yeah, I've basically been painting for a bit. It's now nearly 6:30. I've probably been painting for like 45 minutes, half an hour, something like that. I've just done one section of the cupboards and you'll see all the paint and all I feel like we've done quite a few little home updates. The main one being painting the living room, which you'll see in maybe next week's vlog, maybe the one after. We'll do like a full home updates, decorating for spring, just getting the house all spring summerified. But for now I need some dinner. I am feeling quite lazy, I have to be honest. So I think I'm literally gonna have some of the pasta salad for dinner instead of having it for lunch, and I'm just gonna have a bit of it and put some stuff with it. So I've got some of these What the Cluck soy chicken bites. It's basically, these are chicken bites. These ones are okay. This isn't chicken. Those fake chicken pieces are really good. Anyway, time to reheat some dinner.
She founded some company that sells fancy water bottles to rich people to pay for digging wells in Africa.
It is officially the end of another day. I keep finding more bits of paint on me. I feel like I've scrubbed my entire body and I still keep finding flecks of paint. But that was a very nice day. I feel like that was a very kind of ordinary, normal day. And to me, a normal day is a good day. But I hope this was helpful and maybe a little bit interesting. There's certainly nothing that glamorous or that crazy happening over here. I'm not going to groovy events or getting loads of PR. I'm just chilling. I feel like my life is very the same as when I had a 9 to 5, to be honest. I'm gonna sit in bed, read for an hour. It's currently, it's later than I thought. It's currently 9:05, so I'm gonna read for 50 minutes, and then I'm gonna turn my lights out at 5 to 10, and hopefully I'll be asleep by 10. I do fall asleep quite quickly. But thank you so much for spending the day with me, as always. I hope you're having such a lovely week, and I cannot wait to see you in the next one. Bye, guys.